a world where things are not what they seem, the Autobots and Decepticons change form to empower themselves to win the war. Welcome to the world of the Transformers. TMan 978. I don't know what I'm gonna title this, so yeah, sorry. Anyway, hello everyone. I don't know what I'm gonna title this because calling it a review might be a little bit too mean by today's standards. I mean, sorry if I'm about to offend some people, but you can't even call these things action figures by today's standards. They are trinkets, hence why this company that Hasbro licensed these figures to, Fun for All, they even made them into keychains, as you're about to see when I take them out of the package. But these are Transformers Generation 1, Autobot, Minibot, Brawn, and Cliffjumper. This packaging is really authentic looking with only a few minor changes. Like, I'm not sure if they had choking hazard warnings on the original toy. But back here you can see the full transformation, just like on some of the current day stuff. Here is his tech spec bio. And this bio, now that I'm reading it, is really reminiscent of his characterization in Transformers Prime, which I'm pretty sure that's where they got the idea from in the first place. And here are his tech specs. Follow the blue line. When it lands on that black line, that's the number you need. Here is Brawn's. I haven't opened him. I did buy one of these for my son though. I bought these in like 2005, 2006-ish. Here is his bio, and here's this. And after I get finished playing with these, you're gonna see why I still collect today. Here they are off their packaging card, and one thing I would notice, Brawn is trademarked right there. Back in the day, they told us they'd lost the trademark for Brawn, and that's why they named X-Brawn during Robots in Disguise X-Brawn. But these were released around the same time, 2001, when they were also re-releasing other, bigger Autobot cars at Toys R Us. But anywho, as you can see, yeah, they are now officially keychain trinkets. They have a nice little hook right there, but the best thing about these, they gave you the ability to squeeze this and take that off. So now we get to really look at him the way he was back in the 80s. He actually has rubber tires, which is nice. It's a nice chibi Porsche. It's supposed to be one of those penny racers. I don't know if you guys are old enough to remember this or even ever heard of these, but they're cars you roll back like that, wind up the motor, put a little coin in the back, and then woof, the car would take off. Brawn is just a little, I'm not sure if he's supposed to be the same thing or if he was even released during the same line, but because these were originally Takara products in Japan and that had nothing to do with Transformers. You can see he has some nice chrome and whatnot. His tires are not rubber, and you can see the rims do not turn with the wheels. And there's no sticker detail or paint in the windows. The front is black. This tire, there's a hole up there like a gun could have went in there, but he didn't come with a gun. So let me take this off. If I can. Oh no. Come on. Yeah, unfortunately I had to scrape that plastic right there and crack that to get the keychain out, but originally this loop wasn't molded on anyway. But so you can see, here they are compared to the only other Autobot mini car that I have, Wind Charger here. And you can see they're all roughly the same. These would be what is equivalent to Legends class now, or at first it was Scout class. Scout class was bigger, so we did get an upgrade, but the price upgraded as well anyway, so you can't really say it's that much of an improvement because we did wind up paying for it. Here they are compared to a Legends class car. And as you can see, they are bigger now, at least. Nowadays, the smallest size class we get during a major line. But there's that. And here they are compared to an Autobot deluxe car from back in the day. So in the show they were a little bit smaller, but they weren't this much smaller, which would look weird considering they were all supposed to be able to fit the same size humans. Transformations, and these are extremely simple. What you want to do is lift this head panel up, pull the arms out right here for Cliffjumper, pull the legs down until you get a soft click, and pull the feet forward. And now you have Cliffjumper in his robot mode. Look at that face right here. Now you can see where they got his face for the cartoon, but his head is flat right there in the back. So yeah, that was not too desirable as a kid watching the cartoon. The arms are different. They have these wheels attached. They did try to mold in some fingers and a thumb, but the hand is like sideways. The thumb is right there. The legs, the only articulation they have is this. He has no crotch at all. The legs are just coming straight out of his gut. And the arms kind of bend like at the middle of his body on both sides. Like there's a bar right there at the top and a bar down the bottom. And if I'm not mistaken, this little piece right here is die-cast, so it does have a little bit of die-cast metal. One thing I used to do to pretend that he and Bumblebee had articulation is I would put an arm up like this and maybe shove one of his legs halfway up his body and make it look like, to me in my mind, or pretend that he was jumping with one knee bent, but he doesn't have any knees. And I know this isn't the exact same character, but this gives you an idea of what this guy was supposed to look like, because he and Bumblebee were basically like mole brothers. They had different parts, but they're basically kind of the same guy. And this is why I still collect now, because it took over 20 years, it took 30 years basically, to get a Bumblebee or a character like Cliffjumper, where you have all types of articulation and he can do all the things I'm sitting here complaining that this thing didn't do. And that's all we had as a kid. If you love Cliffjumper, this is the only option you had. I showed Brawn off, but before I go to transformation, I just realized that he and Windcharger have the same exact like hubcaps, which is kind of cool. I mean, the detail on these aren't as good as this, and this is definitely a 100% authentic 1984 Windcharger. But like I was saying, transformation is simple. Pull these down, they become the legs. Leave them like they are right now. Pull these out, rotate them up to about here, and then grab the little silver things right here. Then you discover that, wow, these are his arms. And these little green things are little wings that he didn't have in the cartoon. But they don't put this in the instructions, but I believe you're supposed to shove these up right here. Slide those up until they lock into place, and they kind of keep his legs still a little bit better. But this is Brawn. Notice he doesn't have a face like you remember on the cartoon. His helmet was kind of shaped like that, but he has no face, sort of like this dude here, Windcharger, who also had a face in the cartoon, but now he just has a black visor and a mouthpiece. So there you go with that. Brawn is taller, and unlike that Bumblebee, I don't have Brawny or anything equivalent to compare him to, but let's just spin him around. He just basically looks like a truck with legs and little, like, retro robot arms. Like, he doesn't even have fingers or hand detail. He did have these little stickers on his body already. I didn't have to apply them. But let me get a smaller robot that's working with today's standards. We have Legends Class Swerve. That's how big they are. Let's get you out of here. Get Cliffjumper back in here. And here they are next to a deluxe Autobot car. So this is about the scale they were on a cartoon. And this is about masterpiece scale nowadays. Let's get you a little Decepticon out here. This is, I guess, basically the Decepticon equivalent. But I think because they're so small, well, I don't know what the size classes were back in the 80s. They just kind of did things at random. It used to be 2 cassettes together and 1 Autobot mini car by itself, so I guess they didn't consider these to be on the same level as Autobot cars. But here is Frenzy with these 2 right there. Before I close things, here's an updated Cliffjumper figure that's just like Masterpiece Bumblebee, is using better articulation. And yeah, this stuff like this roped me back into collecting because this is what I always wanted. Over here on the left, I'm going to show what these 2 figures are supposed to look like, or what they looked like in a cartoon. Now, looking at those images right there compared to what we got, let me ask you a question. Would you have been satisfied even as a kid? Would these be the best representation of the 2 characters that compared to the image over there? I mean, I'm not going to completely knock them. They are fun, and it's nice that you can just, bam, transform him. He can go. He's ready to go. Bam. Rotate this. Flip this around. This one's a little bit more difficult because things have to be angled a certain way to get them in there. But, man, I mean, they are little fun little toys, but I don't know. I kind of wanted more. I do love playing with them, and I love playing with them as a kid, but they didn't represent what I actually wanted compared to what was actually on the show. So let me know what you think. Would that be a good enough reason for you to be still collecting as an adult? Do you just think that these are super cool and they just make you not want to stop collecting transforming toys just because they're cool? They were cool enough for you as a kid, and the new toys they came up with just got more and more cool, so why quit now? But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it doesn't look like a fumbling mess because I dropped a few things all over the place. I don't know if I'm going to edit that out, but I'm still talking about it here. But anyway, if you enjoyed this video, let me know by giving me a thumbs up. Let me know by sharing. Let me know by subscribing and commenting. TMan 978 out of here.